Welcome, people. We're back in the mix here. You know what it is, Josh here, along with Boz, holding it down in Norway, where it's nice and cool right now. It's hot out here where I'm at, but it's nice and cool in Norway, from what I suppose or what I can just generally think, but I don't know for sure. How's it going?
Yeah, it is. It's really not a very nice, pleasant weather, but still much better than what's going down there where I came from recently in Bosnia, Croatia, especially. They got like 40 degrees, stuff like that. In
Cool.
Celsius, of course.
All right, good stuff then. Cool. Hey, shout out to Rodolfo Rivera.
Hey,
Welcome.
Rodolfo, my man.
Welcome, buddy. I still got to get you that hoodie, Rodolfo. My mom actually reminded me. You're supposed to shoot me an email. We'll set it up. We'll set it up for man doing the thing. But yeah, shout out Rodolfo. But yeah, we're back in the mix here. Talk a little bit of boxing. Just left the fight night scores stream where we were looking at Evander Holyfield versus Dwight Kwawi. This was a cruiserweight, I guess. It was a catchweight fight, but it was a cruiserweight fight from 86, I
Mm,
believe, 1986. And yeah,
yeah.
it was an excellent one. We all scored it. All of us generally had it in favor of Evander Holyfield, just by some
Mm.
different scores here and there. But yeah, generally, yeah, it was a good fight, and it was a 15 rounder outdoors. You don't do that these days, but certainly they were both putting in work.
Hmm. Yeah. That was a really nice. I had scored that fight once before. That was very long ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
11 years. I can't still can't believe it's gone 11 years already. But I think
That's
I
pretty
had it
crazy.
a little. I'm not sure. I think I maybe had just a little wider for Holyfield back then. Yeah, probably.
Okay,
But yeah,
I had it a bit wider, so more along
yeah.
the lines of what I was doing. Of course, if your score was close to mine, then you know you did well.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
so
few rounds were really hard to score also. So mm,
cool. Rodolfo Rivera Jr. says, "Peace, Boz."
peace, my man.
Good stuff, Rodolfo. Martin, hey, how's it going, Martin? Shout out to Martin.
Dunstan.
Martin D. Let's go.
Are you
Uh,
related to Terry Dunstan by any chance? He was like a British boxer, a
oh,
cruiserweight.
hey, could be. Martin says, Rodolfo, how's it going, buddy? Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, yeah. Hey, we appreciate the camaraderie. We appreciate the love. Certainly, we're
Feel
welcoming here.
the
Welcoming here in the podcast. You know, we're just talking boxing, hanging out, all that good stuff. Mix in a little bit of modern. Well, of course, we love the old school as well. You know, we love that.
love.
Thinking about it from a modern standpoint, of course, yesterday the big fight, the big headlining fight, I guess you can say, was Joet Gonzalez against Isaac Dogbe. Boz, I know you saw it. I only caught the tail end of it. It ended up being a
Sweet.
split decision victory for Isaac
Yeah.
Dogbe, who eked out a couple of split decision victories in his last few fights. But that being said, what were your thoughts on the fight, having seen it in its entirety?
Yeah, I thought at first couple rounds, two, three, I don't know, maybe Dogbe he started really well, really strong. But then Gonzalez came on, and especially the last 4 to 5 rounds were really hard to score because these guys were just standing there trading with each other, just bang bang bang. So I thought, I mean, it makes sense that the Dogbe got that decision, even though I think I saw that the maybe you have also seen it that the commentators thought it was a draw, so
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really argue against that really much. But anyway,
Right.
yeah, Dogbe did look better in the first couple rounds. Anyway, that's for sure. So since the others were so close, he got that. Yes, if you go with that kind of logic, he deserved the nod, but it was very close. Yeah, it was
All right.
very constant action.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I caught probably the last 3 or 4 rounds. I'm not even sure fully, but from what I had saw, it looked like Dog Bay was doing some pretty decent work. That was there in those last few rounds. That being said, I know Joet Gonzalez. He's been in there with what they have a common opponent in actually Emmanuel Navarrete, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Joet Gonzalez fought him too, and
Yeah, that's his only loss, I believe, or something before this.
or he lost to Shakur Stevenson as
Oh
well.
yeah, that's right. Two
Yeah, yeah,
losses. Yeah, now it's three. Yeah.
yeah. So they had
He's
that common opponent. Of course, Navarrete. He's an interesting style to deal with. So he will continue to give many problems. And of course, Shakur Stevenson is certainly one of the promising young fighters that are out
Oh
there.
yeah.
And of course, Navarrete, he really brought it to Isaac Dogbe. And
Yeah.
Dogbe is, more of an offensive type fighter who likes to really throw punches and fight fire with fire. He, I think, knocked off to get his title. Maybe he knocked off
He's a
a pretty solid fighter. I just can't think of it. I'm gonna have to pull up his schedule, but you'll know it once I
Jesse
bring his name back up.
Magdaleno. Maybe you
But
talk Jesse Magdaleno. I know
yeah, Jesse Magdaleno. That's what I was thinking of. Exactly
he
what I was
knocked
thinking
him
of.
out. Yeah, was the
Yeah.
fight.
So that kind of put Dog Bay on the map right there. And of course, his
Yeah.
only blemishes are those Navarrete fights, which were some tough fights. He was giving it. He was giving what he could give in those fights. But yeah, he's just taking a lot of punishment, of course, as well. So he's working with the Headbangers Gym here out of DC. Shout out to Headbangers, Jamie,
Banger.
Bug, and
That's
others.
quite
Um,
suitable because he's a banger.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
certainly. That certainly works out in his favor there. And I know he's getting to work with some good sparring partners and things of that nature because there are a lot of good amateurs that are in that gym as well. Shout out to
Mm,
Scooter Davis. He's one definitely a name to watch right there. Definitely a
mm.
name to watch. He's going to be turning pro, I'd imagine, at some point. But yeah, this will be interesting as far as where both Joet Gonzalez and Isaac Dogbe go from here. This was a title
Yeah.
eliminator of some sort. I know
Mm.
that Joet Gonzalez, yeah, he's like he's got those shots come up just short. And this was an
Yeah.
opportunity right here to put him right back in the mix. And yeah, I guess this was for some kind of WBO. I want to say it was an eliminator. I don't know if it was
Mm.
the actual legit title, but anyway, yeah, Dog Bay. So he's right there now, and this kind of gives him a boost in some sense as far
Mm.
as where he goes from here. So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see if he's able to do anything as far as titles are concerned because yeah, it's going to be tough sledding. I was pulling up Ray Vargas. Yeah, so Ray Vargas, Brendan Figueroa, uh, Mark Masayo. Of course, Gary Russell
Yeah.
Jr. is still ranked there pretty highly. Then Emmanuel Navarrete. Yeah, it's just going to be some tough sledding for Doug Bay sort of moving forward. I think
Yeah.
that
Definitely.
I think that there are a lot of great offensive fighters that he will have to match up with, and given his
Mm.
size, of course, he's a shorter fighter, but he knows how to get in there and mix it up. I think
Yeah.
where he has been vulnerable is against those more offensive fighters like Navarrete, and I think Ray Vargas is similar to that, and of course Brandon Figueroa, who's now operating at the weight,
Mm.
would be a
Yeah.
tough challenge as well for him, given his offensive output.
There are some quite dangerous fighters at 126, definitely. But Dog Bay, sorry, he's like still a young guy, 27 years of age, and so he's got time to. Oh, hello, fight nice. Scores lady. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
what her name is anyway. So he's got time to kind of reinvent himself. But the only question is, yeah, which fights he will get. Will be able to get, and how right they are for him and how much he will be able to,
Yeah,
adapt to those opponents and just have the right game plan. And because he's a very, like most other Ghanaian fighters, very strong, tough guy,
yeah.
you know. And even I mean, it says a lot about Navarrete himself that he was able to
Oh
stop
yeah.
him, even though it was in the last round. But Navarrete is really a huge star. He's really,
Hmm.
amazing, quite amazing fighter. So,
Yeah, and he's been fairly active as well. Shout out Big Fish Vega. Welcome, welcome. And
oh,
shout out Fight Night Scores as well. Welcome, welcome. We just did,
mm,
as we mentioned, opening it up. Yeah, you can check it out on the Fight Night Scores page. We just looked at Dwight Quiley versus Evander Holyfield, 1986
Khalid,
cruiserweight fight,
or
cruiserweight title fight.
Dwight Braxton, as he used to be called.
Braxton.
Mm,
And yeah, thanks. Big Fish Vega says WBC featherweight title eliminator. So okay, yeah, yeah. So it was
mm.
a Dogbe versus Gonzalez was for a WBC featherweight title eliminator, and Big Fish
WBO,
Vegas. Oh
he
yeah,
says he,
yeah,
yeah.
WBC. I guess the WBO international title was on the line.
International. Oh
Yeah,
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 so it
yeah.
was all right. I get it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big Fish Vega
right.
mentions that many people felt Christopher Diaz did more than enough to beat Doug Bay. Yeah, that was a very close fight. Yeah, I remember seeing it myself. I think when they were going to the scorecard, yeah, it was pretty much a toss up as to who was gonna get it. And
Mm,
yeah, yeah, those tough ones right there are those are always tough when you have such close cards of that nature. And yeah, Christopher Putafo Diaz, yeah, he's been in some pretty tough matchups just in general as well. So yeah, yeah. Again, shout
yeah,
out Fight Night Scores. Be sure to check that out, everyone. If you haven't, if you want to score fights, if you're in that or want to test it out, definitely check out fight-score.com. I believe it's fight-score.com. But if you Google Fight Night Scores, you'll get it popping up. The most comprehensive means of scoring a fight. I mean, they have tools
mm,
and you get to take the analytical approach as well and kind of understand why certain rounds were scored the way they were. So it's definitely a
yeah.
worthy follow there. So be sure to check them out and follow them on that YouTube page as well. Fight Night Scores there. Big shout out. Uh, then Martin says, Big Fish Vega, Fight Night Scores, sending salutes. Appreciate it, Martin. Fight Night Scores, we seem to have claimed Dog Bay as British.
Mhm.
Indeed. Neho. And James Morgan. Shout out James Morgan. Going to punish out this cat. Good
Oh no, don't
stuff.
do that. I love
Take it a little
cats,
bit
please.
easy.
No,
Take it a little bit
no.
easy. But yeah, so yeah, the featherweight division is pretty interesting division now with the title changes that have happened here over the last couple of months.
Yeah,
We've gone from long running champion Gary Russell Jr. dropping his title to Mark
Mark.
Magnifico Masayo, and Masayo at his first defense drops it to Ray Vargas, who stepped back
Vargas.
on the scene on a more, I guess, global or visible level because he's been around for a long time, undefeated. Hadn't seen him in a minute,
Yes,
and then
still.
he popped back up there and he's pulled off a title win. And I thought he looked pretty good in doing so, given that, of course, Mr. Magnifico himself
Yeah,
was seemingly
I
on his
didn't.
game and looked pretty good as well. So
I
I got to
didn't
give him
see.
props for that. So
I
yeah,
didn't see that
featherweight heating up.
that whole fight. Yeah, well, I just
You did?
I didn't watch the whole fight, but I
Okay.
watched only the highlights, and so I can't tell. But yeah, it seems that his how do you say it? His lanky stature and
Oh
his
yeah.
kind of way of fighting, kind of dodgy way. It was just too much in the end for Maxayo. Even though he scored a knockdown, he seemed to struggle. Yeah, I guess for
Yeah.
for a portion of the fight anyway.
Yeah, and Mike Sayo, he has this knack for kind of forgetting or not even attempting to throw jabs at times, and he'll go look for that one big shot. And I think that's
Yes.
been one of his problems right there.
Mm.
Is the fact that he sometimes just doesn't even use the jab, and he looks for that big shot. And when he does land, he generally lands with power. He was able to drop Ray Vargas, but he really wasn't putting punches in bunches in that sense.
Yeah.
And if he fixes that part of his game, I think that'll make him a heck of a lot tougher of a fighter to deal with for sure.
Mm.
And I think he still has time to do so. Certainly, it's just a matter of
Yeah.
getting in that right mindset.
Yeah, he's a capable guy. He can hit, and he just that he was faced against a taller guy who a much like a longer armed guy. Also, I guess he
Oh yeah,
wasn't used to fighting those guys, so much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I also wanted to mention that now I haven't seen this fight, but CP Freshmark, another Thai fighter that is out there. He
See,
actually fought here recently as well. He beat the one guy
knockouts.
who was at 1.54-0, and they were saying, "Hey, he broke Floyd's record. We have this 50-0 record that is out there. I use these
Yeah,
acronyms
right.
for a reason, right?" But
That's
CP Freshmark, he looks pretty good. They're fighting at I think it's near minimum weight. It might be minimum weight or right above minimum weight.
yeah, that maybe it was minimum weight. Yeah,
CP knockout Freshmark, I believe that's what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, and yeah, that's the other guy that was actually was he went 50-0.
Yeah,
One hang Mina Yotin,
yeah,
something.
Minayotin.
Yeah, so he lost now to CP. Let's
Oh
just
yeah,
call him CP.
yeah. Certainly, CP Freshmark knockout. But Big Fish Vega says Magasayo's jab is pretty good, but like I said, doesn't use it enough. He has everything physically, but his IQ seems to be needs to be shown more. Yeah, agree with you there, Big Fish Vega. Yeah, if he could put that piece up together, yeah, he'd be a huge problem. But yeah, he definitely is gonna have to use that jab more and mix up those punches a bit, throw some combinations,
Yeah.
not look for that one big silencer. Which of course
Mm.
we have a lot of boxers who tend to get kind of caught up in the mix with that. But yeah, it's one of those things, and yeah, once you get that stuff together, hey, it can make you nearly untouchable when you're
You
in
know,
such top form.
yeah. You know what I just discovered I remember that Mauricio Lara is also at featherweight, so that fight,
Oh
between
yeah,
him and Dogbe wouldn't be so such a bad idea. Maybe, yeah, I think it wouldn't be.
oh
Doesn't
yeah,
he?
Mauricio Lara. Yeah, that
So
is right.
he's had one fight this year which he won by a knockout in the third round.
Yeah, I think they had
Yeah,
that hit, but in yeah, I just pulled him up. Yeah, that second Warrington fight. But yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
would be. I think I certainly would favor Mauricio Lara because I think that he's shown that he definitely has some power, and he'll certainly mix it up with Doug Bay. I think he dragged Doug Bay
yeah,
into a dog fight, and I think his
mm,
power would likely prevail in that.
yeah. Dangerous puncher, yeah, definitely.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that yeah, he stopped Warren, looked good in doing so, and of course they had
Yeah,
that hit, but it'd be good to see him in the mix again. Kind of. Yeah, I
mm,
didn't even know he had
I
fought here in March.
would, I would
Or
love
maybe I
to.
did. Maybe I did actually. I did see that actually. I was watching that,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's been since March. Yeah, that was an exciting fight right there. I think he got hurt in that fight as well,
he
if I'm not
beat
mistaken. So
beat the
yeah, it'd
guy
be good to see him again.
beat the guy with a 19-1-0 record. So he's not a bum, I guess. That guy, Emilio Sanchez, his name.
Yeah, they were banging in that fight. They were
Yeah.
like straight up banging. So yeah, it'd be good to see
Hmm.
him back there to mix again. He'd make up for some interesting matches.
Hmm.
Got a full house. Rodolfo said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trying to make it happen." Shout out to Xavier the Boxing Nerd. Definitely go follow the Xavier the Boxing Nerd. Legit. Hey, and big thanks again, Xavier. I don't know if I said you on the stream. He actually showed me how to properly calculate these no decision fights on BoxRec. It's a pretty intricate little process. It's so funny. Now, I use that all the time. Now I created a little spreadsheet based on a comment he made. So salute, shout out to Xavier the Boxing Nerd. Definitely a channel worth checking out. If you can, go follow him. He's legit, without a doubt. Xavier says Mauricio Lara is one of the few guys out there that impressed me, but he lacks defense. Will likely be his downfall, despite how tricky he is. Yeah, that is true. He certainly is not much of a defensive fighter. But he can definitely bang. Has some pretty decent speed. But yeah, that on that defensive side, that's certainly where his vulnerability is, without a doubt. But yeah, he'll make for some exciting fights. So he's one of those exciting guys.
Yeah, he's definitely not a defensive fighter, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him and Warren go at it one more time, assuming Warren wants that fight. You know what I'm saying? He may not want it.
No, I think he would probably end Warrington's career. Yeah.
Big Fish Vega, Mauricio El Bronco Lara seemed to be a major player at 176. Boxing had to stop letting sides of the streets get in the way of growth. Indeed, you're right. Yeah, that is pretty annoying right there. When we have these sort of promotional hangups, I know that seemingly each promotion has their own deal with a particular network. So when you're having those cross promotional fights, it's not only just the boxing promoters, but you have to work it out from a network standpoint as well. And it definitely hangs some things up. So it will be good to get some clarity or get this sort of rectified in a better manner. But I know that this has seemingly been something for years. It was the case prior to streaming, and now streaming has opened it up, I guess you can say, even more. So even more division. But clearly we can get some fights made if the fighters really want it. So there's just a lot that I guess goes into it, and certain things have to line up well. It's pretty amazing that we've gotten some of the fights that we have, but still so much out there, so much potential if we could get more of these.
I think we can also thank, ironically enough, the pandemic for it, because those guys just then that it made them realize, oh, come on, we don't have that much time maybe left to make all those big fights, so we gotta get our asses moving, and stop being silly, and stuff like that. So that kind of served as a wake up call,
Maybe one day a change gonna come. Maybe one day a change gonna come. But maybe not. It is boxing. It is boxing. Hopefully if we get Crawford Spence in October or November or whatever they're talking, then I think that's a plus right there. We'll get a prime for prime matchup that is not long overdue and expired. If we can get that, it's like we do get the oftentimes get the better matchups with some of the less bigger names, especially in the lower weights, but they need to put some more of these lower weight fighters on. We need some more Chocolatito. We need some more Juan Estrada, Bam Rodriguez. He seems like he's going to be one that jumps in the mix there. Naoya Inoue. We need some more of that. Give some more of these lower weight fighters their shine. CP knock out Freshmark. I haven't even seen him on a big network, I don't believe.
Yeah, they don't really. Those fighters get discriminated against too much. Yeah, especially in in Asian countries they usually do get their due. But who watches? Who in America, for instance, goes to see like an Asian boxing card? You gotta be a big boxing fan, usually.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially those Thai fights, because I think that the CP fight was in Thailand. You had to get a network
Hmm.
that really goes in there. Matchroom has done it. HBO was giving those guys a bit more shine before they sort of
Yeah,
kick the can on boxing. But hey,
I
some
know.
streaming services are popping out there that seem to be doing
Yeah,
some more for just some of the smaller ways of boxing in general. One that comes to mind, Pro Box TV. If you haven't heard of that, it's definitely one that I think is pretty promising and it's pretty good deal.
yeah.
Uh,
It sounds familiar to me. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
Roy Jones Jr., Paulie Malignaggi, and Antonio Tarver are behind it, along with
Oh yeah,
Mike Goldberg. He's like the main commentator guy or host. He was
yeah.
previously
I did.
UFC.
I did watch them all three. In that. I'm not sure what program it was, but anyway,
Yeah,
there was this guy who was leading, who was the host, and the three of them talking about various things about boxing. Yeah, that was very nice, very fun, very good to watch.
yeah, and I think they have great
Holy,
objective points as
bless
well.
Holy. Yeah, I especially love listening to Paulie because he's got no
Oh yeah.
filter. He will just say whatever is on his mind. I don't know. That's just bullshit. That's just you know.
Yeah, he's always been very outspoken, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Rodolfo says 100% Big Fish Vega, especially with the potential Tank versus Garcia fight. You got the egos of Mayweather, De La Hoya, and Ellaby to deal with. The fighters want it. Now it's up to the promotion. Yeah,
Ellerby.
Speaking of that, I think we touched on it maybe on the fight night score side when we are on that stream. But yeah, Danny uh, Ryan Garcia says that he wants Tank Davis and he wants it at 140. Of course, Tank has fought at 140, but I did see a tweet or something that's where Mayweather was saying that hey, they'll only make it at 135. So I think that's gonna, of course, throw some wrinkles in the potential of that matchup here in the immediate term.
Yeah,
But it's interesting, but I do think that's a very good fight. One of the better fights we can get in boxing as far as height, and then both of the guys are skilled and everything. So hopefully we
yeah.
can potentially see that. What do you think of that fight, Boz?
That would be really amazing, fight to watch. Anyway, it will really generate great interest, and yeah, of course, it will have to be pay per view. But anyway, yeah, I would really love to see it because simply because both guys are very offensive minded, and simply
Yeah,
very good, among the very best at those light divisions, lightweight and super lightweight, let's call it
yeah,
140. Yeah. So that would be just a firefight, I'm sure. I don't think any of them would hold back, or play too defensive or cautious in a fight, So,
yeah,
yeah, I would love
yeah,
to see it. Of course,
yeah.
everybody would.
Yeah, the promotional politics, yeah, started. I think if I recall correct, also in that tweet, Floyd said he wants Oscar De La Hoya to hold a press conference or something, saying that he wants to fight or something of that nature. So the games have started.
Yeah. And
So
that
yeah.
guy Ellerby, I just can't stand him. He's such. I don't know.
Oh, Leonard
He's not
Ellerby.
doing any good. He's not doing a good job. First of all, and then he's like calling out people as if he was a fighter or something. What's that about? I don't remember. He recently kind of threatened somebody. Oh yeah, Eddie Hearn. That's right. He kind of said to Eddie Hearn that he would like, I don't know, beat him up or something like that.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, come on, man, you are like in your 50s or something, and leading this. You have this very responsible job, and you
Yeah.
behave like James
Oh,
Sterling
Ellerby.
in the
He's a,
90s.
he's
Yeah,
a TMT mouthpiece. He
yeah,
apparently used to be in the Air Force. I used to work with this guy. He said he served in the Air Force with him.
Wow.
back in the day there. Oh, small world. You never know. Shout out Ryan ORourke. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. Ryan
He was.
says, Ryan says Ryan Garcia already agreed to 135, but it also shows how he does Devin Haney. Yeah, that Haney fight is there.
I don't think
Haney
he
was at
did.
his fight. Haney was certainly at his fights, and Haney has all the belts at 135 now.
Five
Yeah, I guess he
for
has all the
now.
belts. Yeah, that would have been an interesting fight right there. A very good fight as well. I thought that, man, it's crazy how a year changes things. Probably a year ago, even at this same time a year ago, I might have been saying that, oh yeah, there's so many of these fights we're going to see with these guys matching up at 135 as far as the potential for Lomachenko and Lopez again, the potential for Haney Garcia, then throw in the mix Cambosos getting it in with some of these guys as well. So we've gotten Cambosos, Haney, but we haven't got those top level combinations of Ryan Garcia and Tank at 135. Those
Hmm.
definitely are two that we haven't got to get in that mixture. We were throwing them in there as potentially being able to face Teofimo Lopez as well, but now he's gone up. So 135 is still talented, but man, yes, we would have thought we would have seen more of these sort of young guys right there, generally in their primes, hit together, mixing it up. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things with boxing. Sometimes you just don't get
Yeah.
those combinations. I mean, that 135 just has an excellent combination of interesting styles that could be a crazy tournament, for instance, if
Hmm.
which I know
Yeah.
we're not going to get. No, we're not getting any tournament, but just
That would be
hypothetically,
the only solution probably to make the whole fight at a tournament, So, but yeah, as we said, it's not gonna happen.
but yeah,
But who
you make a
knows?
good
Never
point.
say never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, hey, you make a good point there, Ryan. Yeah, Garcia, hey, he could fight Haney, but he says he's not going to 135 anymore, so it'll be
I don't
interesting.
know
Certainly interesting.
if he really docked Haney or not, but maybe he's simply the fact that he's now at an age where his body is developing, so he's struggling to make it 135. That's possible.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So
Now, certainly, each of these guys are certainly going to end up at 140 here very soon. I'd imagine,
yeah,
without a doubt. So I think we can still get that same level of fight at 140. But yeah, hopefully we actually get them at 140. Considering we haven't been able to get all of those mix of matchups here at 135.
yeah.
Xavier the Boxing Nerd, iDubbbz, I think that's how you say that. Recently put on a boxing event of non-influencers, YouTube that respect the sport while bringing in new eyes. It's a bunch of normal people boxing, but it's better than a Jake Paul BS. All right, gotcha. I have to check that out. Xavier,
not, a,
iDubbbz.
not a bad word about Jake Paul. Come on.
Hey, Jake Paul's been out there promoting the sport, I guess you can say. Yeah, I think that Jake
Yeah,
he's shown that I think he's shown that he's seemingly taking things serious. So, hey, I got to
yeah.
give him
I
props for
mean,
that. He's seemingly
he
taking
could
things
have
serious.
he could have chosen to do like MMA and promote UFC, but he promoted boxing, so he does still. So people should be a little thankful at least, I think, because he is making it cool. He's making it like trendy and for the young people,
Oh
not
yeah,
not least because so many follow him and like him, to put it that way, to put it mildly, and yeah.
yeah. He's
Some,
bringing
of
in
course, he's got haters, of course, yeah, of
yeah
course,
he's bringing in some of those social media type eyes and things of that nature. Some of the casuals or a
yeah.
little bit less than casual fans, some who probably don't really watch boxing at all, who've kind of gotten into the mix. I think it's a plus having some other legit fighters on his card in terms of more
Yeah,
advanced elite level fighters. As I know that
And what's that? He's got a woman's fight also that he's promoting a pretty
Oh
big
yeah,
one. I
Amanda
believe.
Serrano versus something
Yeah.
Carbajal. That should be a good
Oh
one. Good
yeah,
to
yeah.
see Serrano
That
back in there.
toy.
Hopefully we can get Serrano versus Katie Taylor back in the mix here again at some point
Yeah.
soon. I think that'd be awesome.
I believe that woman is from Argentina. The Carvajal. Yeah.
Okay,
She.
Carbajal, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. It'll be good. Yeah. And
Hmm.
hey, you know what? Yeah, Amanda Serrano is getting her biggest paydays here now. So that's that's
Yeah.
a good thing for sure. Seeing these girls get their due for putting out a great fight there with her and Katie Taylor. They were bringing it.
Yeah.
Ryan already agreed to
We already
135.
saw that.
But oh yeah, we had already seen that one. Good old LRB Rodolfo. Then we have Rodolfo Rivera Jr. The only question is, who is Loma gonna fight? Because Haney is gonna fight Cambosa. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that is gonna be signed, that rematch, which I guess all the indications were there since it was a clause already in the
There's
contract.
no sense that rematch because it
Yeah,
wasn't close.
it's
I
going
don't
down
think
in Australia again too, I
I
believe.
don't think Cambosos doesn't have the style to beat Haney. It's not like same as Teofimo.
Yeah, I
And
certainly think
Teofimo,
Haney is going to be better in this fight than probably he was in
yeah,
his first one. A bit more confident, I'd imagine.
yeah. So he's more of a boxer definitely than Teofimo. Or I mean, maybe even Teofimo fought the wrong fight. Who knows? But yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a close fight anyway. Will and Cambosos beat Teofimo. It wasn't like he really kind of dominated him, destroyed him. He just
yeah,
won by a couple rounds of points. I know.
yeah. Amazing how a fight changes. A single fight changes thing in the sports in the sport at time. Similarly, with Josh Taylor had a similar situation here recently. Even though he won actually, but
Yeah,
many people thought he lost to Catterall, and
yeah,
he's gonna have to run that back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a fight can change things. But certainly, the Australian fans seem to come out and support their fighters well. So Caboso seems to bring in some pretty decent fanfare. So
It's-
I guess you can probably bank on that somewhat. But
yeah,
it certainly, is going to take him, yeah, coming with a very different game plan to be able to do
yeah,
anything with Haney. I think he's going to have to just kind of go for broke and not worry about. Well, it's easy for me to say not worry about what's coming back to him, but I think he's going to have to take some chances and, of course, take some
yeah.
damage that makes him more susceptible to getting knocked out.
I mean, he's not a puncher. That's the problem. If he wasn't, he would at least have a puncher's chance. But he's not really. So
Yeah, yeah.
he's
And
got
as far as
very average power, I would say.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. And then as far as Lomachenko, I saw that he is going to be fighting, I guess, here at some point coming up, or maybe they were talking early next year or something. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the now. I guess it's bordering on a year off, maybe for Loma, or what it will be at that time. See how he looks,
yeah,
because he was looking pretty much on his game when we last saw him. It would have been good to see him with Cambosos, but given what Haney did to Cambosos, I'd imagine if we saw a version of Lomachenko, the way he took out Nakatani, yeah, he'd have likely embarrassed and stopped Cambosos.
yeah,
Had they fought. So, but that would have been another big fight. So, yeah, Loma's over there doing the duty of the country. With what's going on in the world. It's crazy. But yeah,
yeah.
hopefully we get to see him back.
That's a great shame that that happened. And it has kind of derailed his career or put it on hold. So, and he's at an age when you don't want to,
Oh
see
yeah,
that
certainly.
34. That's no
Certainly,
joke.
certainly, yeah. And Rodolfo says I would say Pitbull versus Loma, but politics. Certainly, I want to see that. I want to see some. I want to see these Pitbull fans finally shut up.
Pitbull.
They were getting at me on Twitter one day, but I want to see some of these Pitbull fans zip it
Who
up
is
once he steps in there with somebody like Loma,
who is Pitbull? I'm not
the
sure.
Isaac Cruz.
Oh,
Isaac
Isaac
Cruz.
Cruz.
He beat Gamboa in his last fight.
Oh yeah, but that was an old guy, old
His fans were
Gamble.
looking for props, and I wasn't giving any props, and they were getting at me on Twitter. They
Yeah.
came at me in droves.
All
So
right.
let's see Pitbull in there with Loma. Let's go, baby. Rodolfo,
Yeah,
you may be a fan, but hey, I'm rooting against you in this one, Rodolfo.
Loma would school him. It's what people don't understand. That the only reason he lost. Let's say he
Oh
lost to
yeah,
Lopez, but he was, kind of gone for quite a long time and had that injury before that, and but it was still a very close fight. It's like some
yeah.
people acted as if Lopez totally shut him out. That really pisses me off. It's you know,
Yeah. Indeed, Big Fish Vega,
Amer-
Big Fish
yeah,
Vega.
those some of those sports writers over there like to exaggerate things. I must say, I don't want to point fingers, but I gotta say,
Yeah.
American sports writers, shame on you.
Some have their favorites and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like, the one guy he gets like he's first popular. The same stuff happened to Teofimo, ironically. Then he talked too much. He's like too much of ego.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then he
yeah.
got beaten, and everybody was like, "Yeah, he got beaten." And now everybody loves Cambosos, and now Cambosos lost, and now he's garbage. He's nothing.
Oh yeah,
Now
yeah, yeah.
Haney is the big star, the hero.
Yeah, the tide has turned on Camboso. Yeah, one fight,
Yeah.
yeah, that can change some things. Hey, I think he could still make some pretty interesting fights out there, especially if he's in there with a more offensive, less defensive fighter,
Mm.
say Richard Comey, who is going to be fighting coming up here soon. Comey Camboso, so that would be a pretty interesting one, I'd imagine. But of course,
Mm.
we're going to get Haney Cambosos first, so we'll see how
Yeah.
that goes. We'll see how that goes. But Big Fish Vega says that his guess is Jeremiah Nakatila. He's a
Yeah,
top
I know
ranking
that
KO
guy.
Miguel Burchell. Yeah, he's the African guy. Somebody beat him.
South South Africa, yeah.
Oh yeah, South African. Yeah, Burchelt, man. Yeah, it was sad to see Burchelt, but his punch resistance is gone. That Oscar
Yeah.
Valdez knockout took something
He's
out of him, and man,
yeah.
it's crazy how that is with some fighters.
Yeah, you had the accusations against Valdez, that he was using something illegal in that fight.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
well, he did test for something, right? But they gave him a
yeah,
pass, right? WBC gave him a pass for it. I don't recall the details of what exactly he tested for, but
mm,
I do recall he tested for something.
yeah. He did definitely.
Yeah.
That was kind of yeah. I don't know. I didn't really expect him to win by a knockout. That's all I can say in that fight. So
Oh yeah. I've always liked Valdez. I like his style. He's exciting, and
yeah,
yeah,
he
I've
was.
seen him live once, and man, yeah, he brings it and he puts everything in every punch. But yeah, and I kind of favored him against Burchelt because I was just thinking that Valdez was man, just what he brings it to the punch. He still seemingly had some juice left, and I don't mean any juice in the sense of juicing, but hey, you never know.
Yeah, right.
But certainly, that was a heck of a fight and a heck of a knockout. But yeah, Nakatil versus Lomachenko. I guess that would be a good one to get Loma back in the mix. I certainly favor
Hmm.
Lomachenko, certainly. But yeah, that would be a good one. I mean, Nakatil, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did what he had to do in there for sure.
Yeah, he don't want to straight up, come back and just straight up fight
Yeah.
somebody like the top guys. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now that I think about it, Richard Comey's taking on Jose Pedraza. So great fight right there in terms of
Oh
slick
yeah,
sniper that
Pedraza.
is Jose Pedraza. I really like Jose Pedraza. He's lost to some of the top guys, but
Me
I think
too.
he's right there in the mix. I mean, he's a very good fighter. But yeah, he's going to
Yeah,
be
very
taking on Richard Comey,
skilled.
and we know that
Yeah,
Richard Comey is going to bring it on offense. That's one that's definitely worth checking out. My people, I think you all may know, but for sure, Comey versus Pedraza, I think that's going to be an interesting style clash right there.
I like Pedraza too. He's a very good technical boxer, very slick, and yeah, but also tough. And he's
Yeah,
not really somebody who just locks himself in a defensive shell.
no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
He doesn't. He'll bring it. So
yeah.
yeah, I like him. He's cool. He's good to
Mm.
watch. He's cool to watch. Ryan ORourke, he ducked Haney. He said he can make 135 for Tank. Yeah, that will be a shame, if he says that. But I know that Tank, of course, will be the bigger money fight for Ryan Garcia. But yeah, hey, you know how
Yeah,
these boxers are. They can be fickle at times. They'll change their mind in a second. Danny
yeah.
D. Shout out Danny D. Hey, Magnolia, Arkansas. Oh, you taking it back there? Throw it where I'm from. Hey, that's where I'm originally from, right there.
Oh,
Uh,
Magnolia.
Down south there, Danny D. Marine Corps, right there. Semper Fi. Rah,
Is
rah,
that
rah. Shout out.
where the movie takes place? Magnolia. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. Different. There's a lot of magnolias out there. I've come
Oh
to
yeah,
find out
right.
here. There's a lot
That
of them
was a
out there.
good movie. That one with Tom Cruise and yeah, Julianne
Oh yeah.
Moore.
Certainly.
Mm.
I haven't heard from you in a minute, Danny D. Got to get at me. Got to get at me. I see I got text here. all right. I got you. I see your stuff. You're funny.
You look kind of tired. Are you have you slept well or what?
Oh, I slept. Well, I was out. Man, I was up to like 3 in the morning,
Oh yeah, that's
three
why I
something in
can
the
see.
morning.
I can see that.
I slept for a little bit, but I'm up now. I might get
Your
some coffee
eyes.
here later. I'm
Oh
good
yeah.
though. But I was
All right.
up 3 in the morning. Ryan ORourke, he ain't making boxing cool. He making a joke out of boxing. Hey, Ryan, yeah, he certainly needs to.
You mean Jake Paul? Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
are you talking about Jake Paul or Ryan Garcia or Ryan?
Yeah, you gotta make it clear. It can be any one of those two, really.
might be Jake Paul, Darren Dotson. Shout out Darren.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out Darren. What's going on, buddy?
oh,
Hello,
Darren.
gents. Hope you're good. Just wondering if any of you have seen the new film about Jim Belcher, prize fighter. No, I haven't seen that. Haven't seen that.
No,
But you know what? I'm gonna have to check that out though. Certainly.
I haven't actually. I must admit, I don't know. I haven't heard of Jam Belcher really.
Yeah. So I wonder is yeah, we'll have to you'll have to share some more details there, Darren. Yeah. Shout out to
I know
Darren if
who
you're on
Jam
Facebook.
Mace was, but I don't know
Oh
Jam
yeah, old
Belcher.
Jim Mace. I wonder if he was
Yeah.
a bare knuckle pugilist from back in the day there.
Oh,
But Darren, he knows all of the bare knucklers. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
he goes
right.
way back. I say I go back, but no, Darren goes way back. He knows all those top guys who were fighting well before they started to put the gloves on. So shout out to Darren Dobson. Appreciate you dropping in, buddy.
I can say with pride that I have James Quinn McDonough among my members of my group. So he's
Okay.
not very active. You know, he's this undefeated bare knuckle fighter from Ireland. You know,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I remember you were mentioning him before. I had looked him
yeah.
up.
You know
Yeah.
the Ken Shamrock wanted to fight him, but it didn't happen. It didn't. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe because Kim Shamrock, he's been in there taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, old guy. Well, this guy
Yeah.
is not very young either. I think they're
Oh, yeah, that is true.
almost the same age, or Ken is a little older. I think 3 years or something. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But Shamrock, yeah, he needs to chill, enjoy
yeah.
his
He needs to lie
retirement.
down.
Or I don't know if he's
Yeah,
officially retired or what, but he needs to enjoy his retirement. Ken,
yeah.
shout
He
out
was a
though.
very strong guy in his prime, but he's no
Oh,
longer
yeah.
in his.
Definitely exciting to watch as well.
Yeah.
Xavier, the boxing nerd, says that boxing is easier to get into than MMA because of how decentralized it is. Yeah, Paul is bringing new eyes, but he is making something of a mockery of the sport in the process, in my opinion. So yeah, certainly you do
Well,
have some fans that I would say that are casual fans who probably put more stock into his overall abilities than what they are. I think he's done a good job fighting at the level that he's fighting at. But of course, if he were in there with a legitimate top level amateur or a pro or prospect who has that type of background and pedigree, it would certainly be tough sledding for him. But yeah, I think I say he's done a good job of kind of just seemingly staying serious in terms of he seems to actually be in the gym. You can see he's added some things as far as when he first
yeah.
started. So he seems to take certain aspects of it pretty serious. And hey, he started that promotional company, so
Yeah,
um,
he's he's improved. I mean, obviously, and seem to be improving now still. And you know
yeah,
what some people will say, especially those who work in the entertainment industry, they will say all PR is good PR. So yeah,
oh yeah. Xavier, I remember one of the Pauls mocking Tommy Hearns' name when somebody asked the opinion of a fantasy fight between Hearns and De La Hoya. Yeah, now those are some of the great fighters.
too
Tommy
big.
the Hitman Hearns, and then of course
Tommy
Oscar
would
De
be
La
too
Hoya.
big. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, I'm always for people learning the history of the sport, definitely. So yeah, I wouldn't throw out some crazy and outlandish opinions on some of the fighters who
Yeah.
were putting in that work back in the day without trying to get an understanding of them. But those are, but Hearns definitely a great right there. So I feel where you're coming from in that sense. Xavier,
Hmm.
certainly. But yeah, we'll see how he continues to do. He seems to be aiming towards this being a long term thing. So I think these next couple of years will be telling if he sticks in for the full long run. But we'll certainly
Yeah.
we'll certainly see.
Yeah, it's impressive that he's still, in the game. He could have, like his brother, he just had a couple of fights for the sake of publicity. And
Oh
then
yeah,
he,
yeah,
enough. But Jake, he just keeps on going,
yeah.
because also he's done better than his brother so far. So, yeah.
Yeah, Logan's kind of just bouncing in and out here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if he's serious about it for sure. I don't think he is. Steven Sorby, hey, shout out Steven Sorby, hey, welcome, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember seeing you in the fight night score stream. We're scoring that
Yeah.
fight. Hey, good to have
The
you in
guy,
here, buddy, for sure. It says
the
Haney
guy
has
who
to repeat
came
the
in
victory.
late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Haney has to repeat the victory against Cambosos and then defend against the division top contenders in 2023. Yeah, that would be, that would make sense for sure. We'll see if that happens. I guess you can say we'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
See if all the top guys remain there at 135, and if he can get those fights. But that would be a good logical means of going about it. I think Haney has looked pretty darn good. He's gotten better and better seemingly with each fight, and he's the real deal from what I can tell. Of course, and some others with far greater knowledge than I seem to allude towards such. So yeah, it'll be good to see more of Haney. I like Haney for sure.
Yeah, he's got the skills, definitely. Yeah.
Indeedo. And Steven Sorby Lomachenko return in October would be great and maybe be one of Haney's challenges in 2023. Yeah, that's a fight I'd like to see right there. You will see two very skilled fighters going at it in terms of Lomachenko and Haney. Some years back, I would have certainly, I know that I've certainly said that Lomachenko would certainly handle Haney, and I thought he would handle him fairly easy a few years back. I think it's gotten a bit closer now in the sense that, of course, Lomachenko's a little
Yeah.
bit older, and we'll
Yeah.
have to see how he looks when he comes back. Haney's gotten better, so I think it's an even better fight at this particular point, and I think it will be an interesting matchup given that Haney does have some size to him, he'll have a little bit of a size advantage overall against Lomachenko. So that would be a good fight for sure.
Yeah, that would show pretty much where Lomachenko is, where how much left he's got in the tank, and but
Yeah,
yeah, it would be a pretty difficult fight, and not least, sometimes when we know how it is with the has been with the judging in recent years, so he's not likely to be how to say it. Well, to get a preferential treatment anyway from the
yeah,
judges, over there. So,
yeah,
but
and
yeah, we'll see.
yeah, and that Lomachenko or that Teofimo Lopez loss seemed to reignite some type of flame in Lomachenko. I didn't think a flame was
Yeah.
out or anything of that nature, but definitely it ignited something because he came out with vengeance here
Mm. Yeah,
against
he hadn't,
Nakatani.
had- yeah, he hadn't lost for so long, and it was like how long, 5, 6 years or something. He was unbeaten.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
came out with vengeance against Nakatani and Richard Comey actually. So yeah,
yeah.
it definitely reignited something or renewed his focus, I guess you can say. Rodolfo
But no,
Rodriguez.
yeah,
I think Cambosos would do a bit better, but Haney takes the dub. George went straight back to the gym after taking the L, which shows his dedication. Okay, I didn't know that, but I think that is certainly a plus right there. Can't knock that.
yeah.
If he
He's
went
very
back to the
dedicated.
gym.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he can do better in the rematch, but how much better? That's the question. He can
yeah,
definitely win more rounds than he did in the first fight because he
yeah,
didn't really fight the right fight. He was too aggressive, and just from
yeah.
the start. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Cambosos won me over, and I saw some interviews and all this stuff, and yeah, he seems to be a very dedicated guy towards it. So I think
yeah.
it's good for the sport if he, comes back and puts on a great showing that would line him up for some potential big
Mm.
fights, continued big fights, especially whether that's over here in the U.S., the U.K., or Australia. So it's good to
Yeah.
have names on all continents.
Yeah, I mean, he's got tremendous mental strength because I read that he was, as a kid, he was overweight. So he got bullied a lot, in school. So
Mm,
that kind of inspired him to start training, and that's how he discovered boxing. So
okay,
that's a
gotcha.
pretty touching story.
Okay, gotcha. Cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. Hey, that brings out the best of you sometimes. Logic, shout out
Indeed.
Logic. Shout out Logic. Hey, appreciate you dropping in. This isn't
Yeah,
Logic the rapper, right? Or is it?
logic
No.
man.
Logic says no need for Haney Cambosos rematch, but if you're Cambosos, why not get another crack at Undisputed in a payday? I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it was hard to see. Yeah, well, I didn't see any scenario where Cambosos was going to turn down that rematch or disregard that clause or step aside or anything because you're right. It's a big payday and he gets a shot at all the belts. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's an easy decision right there for Cambosos without a doubt.
Yep.
Logic. If Tank Garcia gets made, would like to see Rowley versus Cruz on undercard as a co-main event. Okay, that's a good one.
Rowley, yeah, he's such a character, so over the top, oh man.
I saw some tweet.
Almighty.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
some tweet where he said he's going to 140 and knock out
yeah,
someone. I can't
yeah.
remember
It
who he.
was, who was it? Tank Davis or something like that. I think.
Well, or he might have said 147, but yeah, it was something crazy. But yeah, Rowley's a character. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Rowley versus Cruz.
Oh, sorry. He already fought the Tank Davis. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he
His
fought
last,
Tank, but it was someone at 140. I can't remember who he said.
maybe Taylor or somebody like that. I
Yeah.
think it was Taylor. I think so.
but
Yeah.
um, but yeah, him and Cruz, that would be an interesting fight. You would think an action fight. Um, You
Yeah,
would think, yeah, it'd be a fairly action fight. Both of them kind of coming forward and doing their thing. Interesting one. Good one. Their logic. Yeah, I think that's a very interesting fight. Probably
mm,
50-50. I guess you would lean towards Rowley on the power side, but Cruz
yeah, he's
certainly
got
brings
power.
it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Rodolfo left out. What were they saying? 86. I'm a fan of Pitbull, but not a super fan. I'm just into his style. Okay. Yeah, those Pitbull fans were getting that because I wasn't giving him enough credit for beating Gamboa or the ghost of Gamboa. Hmm.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny
Now
because
we
but they were bringing up
we
the fact that Gamboa tanked 12 rounds. But yeah,
wow.
yeah, he was still a shell of himself then as well.
We've passed an hour now.
Oh, oh yeah, an
Yeah.
hour. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got a few more of these things to answer here,
Yeah.
Boz.
Now that
Are
we
you
have
sleepy?
so much people with us, we have no choice but to
Are you
continue.
sleepy, Boz?
Huh?
Are you sleepy?
No, 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 no.
I was about to say it doesn't matter if you are. No sleep. Let's
Yeah,
go.
no sleep till bedtime.
Stephen Sorby, there's no need for Henry Camboso's rematch from what we witnessed in the first fight, but rematch clauses and contracts are made and agreed upon for a reason. Hey, well stated there, my friend. Well stated. Hello, 86 and
Hello,
Bods, Facebook user. Shout out.
hello,
Shout
Joshua
out to you.
Smother. Yeah,
Big Fish Vega,
nice.
Shakur beat Nakatil. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Our
Shakur Station.
greatest fan. Yeah,
Thanks,
for
Big
sure.
Fish. Yeah, you're right. You was Shakur that yeah, it had yeah, I remember seeing that. Was I there at that fight? I remember being at some Shakur fight. I can't remember if it was that one. But
Nakatila.
yeah, Shakur, a beast. Beast. We all know that.
Yeah.
The logic. Loma scheduling fight around Haney Cam rematch to get next scrap. Okay, yeah, yeah. Certainly yeah, that makes good sense. Because I guess he was gonna be fighting Cambosos first, so he could have
Mm.
very well been the one to snatch that belt from him. Rodolfo Rivera Ryan stopped
Fortuna,
it. So after seeing the Fortuna fight, it changed their mind. The Tego performance didn't go good in Ryan's
yeah,
image.
that was very impressive by Ryan because Fortuna is still, world class fighter. But even though he did suffer a few couple more losses before that, but
Yeah,
he was always also dangerous because he can punch also. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. I agree. I agree. I'm with you. Yeah, Ryan looked good against Fortuna. I
Mm.
thought that Ryan would beat Pitbull. I feel like he would stop him. I just think that length and the way Ryan gets in that left hook would be in his favor. And yeah,
Mm.
To go didn't want him to knock him out. So to go was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let that happen. So
Tago, yeah,
Ryan didn't look as great in that fight, but I feel like to go, he's pretty solid. He was pretty solid though. Overall, I would say he's pretty
you
solid.
know, he's another Ghanaian tough guy. Enough said.
Yeah.
You don't stop those guys unless you are
Oh
like
yeah.
a future Hall of Famer like what's his name, Salvador Sanchez. Those guys.
Oh yeah. Azuma
Yeah,
Nelson.
yeah. That fight was wow. Was
Oh
some
yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah. Hell of a fight there.
Yeah.
Stephen Sorby, only the biggest champs fights and fighters can demand rematches. Klitschko's rematch clause for the Fury fight. Joshua rematch clause for the Usyk fight. Kambosos rematch clause for the Haney. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Haney agreed to that, so he knew he agreed to it off the jump. He agreed to a
Yeah.
lot of things, having in Australia and all that. So you're right. Cambosos had the leverage at that particular point.
And sorry, I was just when we are mentioning Fury, I was discussing something with some guys on a forum yesterday. They were both claiming that Fury kind of turned down quite a large sum of money twice to fight Joshua. I don't know if has anyone of you heard of such a
Mm.
thing. Is
Yeah,
it
I'm
true?
not. Yeah, I'm not sure unless they're talking about when Fury was uh overweight and hadn't
Yeah,
fought
when
after Klitschko. It could have potentially
right
happened
after
then.
he came back, you mean, like, you know,
Yeah. I'm not sure.
yeah,
I know there was always some things thrown around about that potential fight, and of course that was going to be viewed as one of those with a big payday. But that's
yeah,
interesting. Maybe
because
some individuals know.
I remember how he praised Wilder, for wanting to fight him in the first fight, after the first fight. So that means that he was calling out Joshua back then already, but Joshua
Yeah.
wasn't really interested back then anyway. I don't know about later.
And of
Yeah,
course, yeah, the three fights with Wilder that kind of has been his main thing here
yeah.
the last several years. So
And
yeah,
I
Joshua
just
of course
thought,
had to move on.
yeah, I thought it made no sense really. Fury's hardly a guy to duck somebody, and especially a guy like Joshua. He knows how big that fight would be, what it would mean to him to
Yeah,
win that fight. Also,
yeah. I don't foresee him having ducked Joshua. I think
yeah,
the sort of whole situation with Wilder probably played into it, especially coming out of that first fight with the draw in what many felt was a victory. Well,
yeah,
I know
like,
I thought it was a victory for Fury, but hey,
yeah.
different things for
I
different strokes
think
for different folks.
I gave Wilder like 3 rounds there or something. So yeah,
Steven Sorby says,
that's
"Spot the odd one out." Yeah, yeah. Cambosos hating. Yeah, certainly that is the odd one.
Camosos is like, these guys that just appear out of nowhere, like the spoilers. Yeah,
Yeah, indeed, Rodolfo. Logic honestly thinks Cruz comfort, I could punch at angles and chins would give Haney problems, especially since Haney power would not be respected by Cruz. You can't outbox Haney. Yeah, that's a good point. Certainly, that's a good
but
point. There's
he
still
can't.
questions
Anyway,
as to whether Haney can punch. I've seen him land some pretty good shots that had some stuff behind them, but certainly in spurts,
yeah,
yeah, I guess he's definitely not what you would consider a knockout puncher. Or
no,
really a boxer puncher. He's generally wins. I think at this level, yeah, he's probably more than likely going to win those fights against the elites via decision
yeah,
if
it's
he's going to
like
win outboxing them.
only if he happens to really nail you, like, that, like how to say, spot on, he can knock you out, Haney. So that's usually what has happened so far in his fights.
Cool. Ryan O'Rourke, August 5th. I beat all the Smith brothers, best family in boxing. Cool, awesome. Shout out to the
Certainly,
Smiths.
the two youngest of them, I really like both Liam
Yeah.
and Callum.
I like them. Liam, Caleb, what is the other one? The other brothers, Paul
Steven,
or
Paul and Steven. Yeah,
okay, yeah, Paul, Steve, yeah, good to go. Yeah,
Steven
hey,
was a
shout out,
super featherweight. He was a
shout
pretty
out.
good contender.
Yeah,
Shout
that's good
outs.
stuff. Yeah, Liam is looking good, and Liam is
Yeah,
looking good, and Caleb looked pretty decent in his first fight at 175.
yeah.
So,
Against that
yeah,
guy, Lenin Castillo, right? It was
yeah. I believe that's who it was. Yeah, old Lennon Castillo. He's been in with some
quite a name.
pretty decent
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
But
Callum
yeah,
is.
shout out to
Yeah.
them for sure. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, we see them back in the mix here again. I know we were
Hmm.
talking about that. Definitely like to see Liam in that mix
Yeah.
there at the top of 154, and of course Caleb at 175. There's some good fights that could be made. I wouldn't mind seeing
Yeah, I
him
was.
Caleb versus Zerto actually. But yeah,
Yeah, that would be a good one because I was talking. We were talking about this a few days back with Jamie Bourne. Shout out to Jamie Bourne of Punch
okay,
Perfect
yeah,
Boxing. So he was alive, but he said, no, no way. I mean, somebody said that Callum could fight Watsy, and I thought the same, but he said, no, no way, that will never happen. I don't know why, really, but oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's right. They got different promoters who don't really get along, or yeah, something along
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Freaking promoters. Freaking
yeah.
promoters.
But as you said, there is Zurdo Ramirez. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Zerto wants Dimitri
another.
Bivol, though. That's what he wants the most, I can
Yeah.
tell, because he keeps calling him out. But hey, if he can't get him, that'll be cool.
That would be interesting. Two big light heavyweights who can, who are
Yeah.
what they are.
Yeah.
They
Both
are.
came from 168.
Yeah.
Both had their moments. I think
Mm,
Zerto probably bigger in terms of when I saw that
yeah.
he had
He
shot up to
looks.
about
He
200.
looks huge. Yeah.
Yeah, he shot up over 200 in that freaking last fight. That dude
Wow.
right there is no joke.
Yeah. Even though Callum himself is no,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, true,
small,
true,
small, skinny guy. So I
true.
think he's probably, well, at least a little. I mean, the bigger puncher Callum than Ramirez, I would
Oh
say.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't know. He was at 168. Well,
yeah.
probably
He
not
had some good
now.
wins. He looked,
Yeah.
yeah, he
Also.
looked good. He had some very good moments. I think he can probably bring some of that
Yeah.
back. I think the Canelo fight was an anomaly in terms of the way it went down, but
Mm.
we'll
Yeah. I
see.
mean,
We'll see.
yeah, that was just came too late for him at 168. I would say. I would have loved it. It would have come at least a year or two before. So.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Yeah, I was gonna say something. I forgot. Well, about Smith, oh yeah, when he knocked out Gross, for instance, that was really
Oh yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, that was.
Gro-
That was.
Gross was still, at his best, really, Gross. But
Is that what sent Groves into retirement right there? Was it that fight
yeah, that's
essentially?
that's right. He
All right.
did one left hook and then a follow up combo, and that was it.
Hey, you got to know when to bow out.
Yeah,
Rodolfo, yeah,
amen.
see Cruz would do better against Haney than Ryan. Ryan's good at fighting small front. He's got that fire to
No, no,
contest.
no.
Yeah,
We have
without a
finished with that with
doubt.
135. No more, please, no
Oh,
more.
these are the ones that were coming in. But TikTok versus YouTube event lost $10 million just fight how much shit they talk. Oh yeah, yeah. See that right there when you're doing something like that, Xavier. I'm with you. I don't know who those guys. So I didn't know some of these YouTube guys. I still don't
Yes.
know. I know that Jake Paul from Fighting Now. I saw that the KSI guy is fighting
Oh yeah.
someone on a DAZN pay per view. I don't see how. I don't know what that's gonna do numbers wise, but it seems like a long shot for pay per view. But we'll see.
Jamel Herring was like promoting something on Instagram last night at some kind of car. He was sending live, like from ringside. But it didn't really look like something I would want to watch that fight anyway. And I
No, yeah,
saw two
yeah.
like
Some of those are
quite
ridiculous.
quite fat guys, like grappling, and I don't want to see those kind of fights. Where
Yeah,
there's more wrestling and boxing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Nah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, some of that stuff is ridiculous, especially the Triller things that they were doing. Triller, if you recall them. Stephen
yeah.
Sorby round robin of fights between Lomachenko, Lopez, Cambosos, Andy Davis, Garcia started in 2020. Hopefully continues either at 135 or 140. Yes, sir. That's good for the sport if we can keep these things going and get a mixture of all those. Fight night scores. Question for Boz: are you going to sign up? Hey, are
Sign
you going
up
to sign up for fight night
with what?
scores, Boz?
Oh
So we
yeah,
can
right.
scrutinize your cards.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will. I think I actually have like a profile there or something, but I
Yeah,
think
don't
I
duck.
forgotten my password, so there was some problems with that.
Hey, well, we can certainly get that fixed for you. We can certainly
Yeah,
get you a
nice,
new password. No excuse.
nice. Yeah, just don't give it away. Kidding.
Cool. Shout out Fight
Yeah.
Night Scores. Yeah, if you haven't, check out Fight Night Scores. Fight-score.com.
There's a guy
Google
also
scoring
that
system.
I would like to mention. He has this podcast that is not very well known. It's called Before the Bell. So shout out to him. I
Okay,
don't
before the
really
bell.
you don't really know his name because we've only spoken a couple of times, but he's a nice guy. I can tell from England, you know. So shout out
Cool.
to Before the Bell podcast.
Okay, cool. Gonna check them out. Shout out before the bell. All right, Martin. Have a good one, buddy. We'll catch you at the next one without a doubt.
All right,
Rodolfo said
Martin.
the same. Random.
Martin.
Random. Hey, you're gonna have to jump on this thing one of these days, random. Hey, just let me know. Hey, we can send you a link.
Yeah,
Random.
we
Shout out
can
to
have
Random
a
Acoustic Talks.
three-way convo.
Yeah, we can. Random, you're gonna have to get out here one of these days. Check out Random Acoustic Talks. You want to learn about some of the history? Certainly, jump in that mix, especially that Sam Langford history, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Three guys is all right. Four, I think, would have been a little too much because then everybody would fight for who talks the most, like who
Oh
gets the
yeah,
most.
yeah, definitely. Random said, can he jump on? Of course, you can jump on. Hold up, Random. I'm gonna send you a link.
Then I can kind of take it easy, lay back. I don't have to do so much work.
Hey, Random, I'm gonna email it. I'm gonna email you the actual link this time around.
Hmm. Just really excited to see what he looks like, or maybe he will not want to show his face.
Oh yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to, Random. It's all good.
But it's not a big deal, really.
We just come on here.
Yeah, if two guys like us can't show their faces, why not you? Now, just kidding. We are handsome. We are handsome.
It's funny.
Enough. Yeah. High
Yeah,
five.
yeah. Stephen Sorby, Haney's developed brilliantly over his last four fights. Now he must try to hold all four belts against the 135-pound best. It's the biggest shark of them all going to emerge from the waters at 130. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, hey. Yeah. Hey, you're right. That's a good point right there, Stephen, and a good question right there. I think eventually we're gonna have Shakur Stevenson moving up to 135.
Mr.
That's
Stevenson.
gonna
Yeah.
be interesting right there for sure. Very,
Hmm.
very interesting when Shakur gets there.
But
I will
not
say
yet,
that.
I say. Probably not so soon anyway.
Certainly gonna be interesting. Shakur gets
There
135.
he is.
What's up, Random? How's it going, buddy?
What's up, fellas? What's up, Josh? Boz? How you guys doing?
Hey,
Pretty
we're good.
well.
We're good, man. Good to have you
Yeah.
on. Good to have you
Thanks.
on, for
Yeah,
sure.
this is more my time. This is more my time. I just woke up though, so I'm not going to show the video. I look crazy as hell.
Understand.
I'm missing my mother-in-law's dinner right now, but I had to sleep, man. I got to work. I got to
Oh
work
yeah,
in
yeah.
several hours. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
I got
yeah.
the
No problem.
notification. I've been listening. How you guys
Oh,
doing?
hey, we're good. We're good. We've been chatting it up. We were talking about a little bit
Yeah.
about what went on this past weekend, but not a ton of huge name action or anything of that nature. But yeah, we've been good, hanging in there, my man. Yeah,
Hmm.
appreciate you hopping on.
My pleasure. Hey, I got a question. Okay, so I see on I think Twitter or something. So Bivol got ordered to fight his top contender, some guy he's got a big undefeated record, I think, and he's trying to
Mhm.
not fight him, or Eddie Hearn's trying to not fight him, fight the number two contender. Is that because this other guy is way better and he just doesn't want a tough fight, or is it money politics? The other guy a bigger name? What's going on there, man? I'm studying the history, man. You got to fight the top contender.
Oh, well, Dimitri Bivol, he's definitely down to fight fight the top contenders and all that stuff. So I think that's been held against him too, as a matter of fact, because he has
Yeah,
actually fought the top contenders at times, and it's usually, sometimes
that's
with
awesome.
boxing, unlike MMA, since they control everything more so in a different manner, the top contenders in boxing can pop up from out of nowhere. So I think that's one of the issues with boxing, and sometimes they're unproven. That being said, you're never proven until you get the opportunity to prove yourself against one of the top guys. If you look at it from that standpoint, but
Yeah.
as
So
far as
he's.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you were getting to the part I was waiting for. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, and
So like
I was gonna.
so who is this top contender guy? I just saw his record. I don't really know who he is, but is it just
I had to
politics? They
look.
think it's a bigger fight with the other guy.
I had to look it up, but it looks like they're mentioning something about. I don't know if they're talking about Joshua Buatsi or what. I don't know if they're
That's the one
talking
they
about
want. I
him.
think. I think he's number two. They want to fight him. They're
That's not
ordering the number one guy. I can't remember his name. I think it starts with an A.
what's he really not an equal for Behold. That's for sure. I don't think he has anything to fear there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought
certainly,
they.
certainly.
I'm still uncertain on how it all works structurally. Although I do believe MMA needs the Ali Act because you think your shit is a mess. Can I swear on
Oh
this?
yeah,
Yeah. So you think your shit is a mess? MMA, it runs like leagues. So the UFC champ will never fight the Bellator champ while they're champions, and in fact, they can't leave the company until they lose a fight. There's a champions clause. So if you hold a belt, you are stuck with that promoter, even if your contract you signed runs out. It adds fights
Yeah.
to the contract. And if you turn down fights, it extends your contract. They don't have to offer you another fight for 3 or 4 months. So they wait champions out if they try to be quote unquote difficult. And so they can't move around. So, I like the structure of boxing somewhat. There's more money for the fighters. And, even though it's a mess with purse bids and all that stuff, if MMA had that, the athlete pay would shoot up.
oh yeah,
It would shoot
without
up.
a doubt. Without a doubt, it would. Yeah, maybe we'll see that one of these days. And I think, Random, you might be talking about Artur Beterbiev, but the thing is, 175.
Wait, am I talking about
Yeah.
Beterbiev and not Bivol? I thought. Okay, so someone was being
Well, no,
ordered to
no,
fight their number one challenger.
yeah. So, no, I was thinking that's who you may be talking about when you said an A, but of course that could be the A last name. Just thinking about the ranking, there is a number of guys up there at 175. It could be a log jam, but all the belts reside with, of course, now Beterbiev and Bivol. That seems like the more logical one to take place right there, of course, because this would offer an opportunity to have an undisputed champion. But I know there are some other guys out there. I was trying to look and find out who was ranked as the mandatory. So this would be the WBA mandatory, if anything. So since that's
Yes,
the
sir.
belt
Yes, sir.
that Dimitri Bivol has, I'm gonna try and find out who that is. But yeah, Rodolfo says he thinks Gilberto is ranked higher than Buatsi or Zerro. Okay, yeah, that may very well be the case right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's really earned that shot, yet. Anyway, he has to fight and beat Yard at least to, be really worthy.
Oh yeah,
How to be considered a worthy opponent for anybody like Bivol or Batteria.
oh yeah. Yeah, Anthony
So
Yard is another one. He's a mandatory for Artur Beterbiev, but I don't think. Am I right? Artur Beterbiev is who Yard is the mandatory for, right, Slavin?
I
I
don't
believe it
know. I
is.
think so. Yeah, I think so.
And I think the general boxing fans in public don't think Yard has much of a shot with that. So hopefully we can get Bivol versus Beterbiev as opposed to Yard versus Beterbiev. But hey, I'd watch either one of them.
Do they pay? Do the promoters still do like step aside money? Like try and get the top guy out of there so he'll give up his little claim?
Yeah, they'll still do that. Supposedly, Anthony Joshua, at one point was going to take step aside money to allow for Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk to fight at some point, I believe earlier this year. But then he kind of changed his mind or whatever, or requested more or something of that nature. And now we're gonna get it. And people were, he was gonna be looked at differently if he would have taken that step aside money and not gone immediately for that rematch, considering the stakes of that fight.
Yeah, I like his chances in the rematch. I think he's going to bully him more. Now, whether or not that results in the ref cracking down on him, but I think he's going to lean on him more and use the fact that he's a bigger guy. He shouldn't try to outbox Usyk. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. That's like being like, yo, I'm going to out jab Mayweather. But back when he was, top dog, like, yo, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to jab Mayweather's face off. Like, yeah, you are? Shouldn't you be not stepping into his wheelhouse, like giving him his best shot? But I like that fight. I think it's a good fight. It's happening in Saudi Arabia, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. They went for the money. Saudi Arabia seems to have a ton of it these days.
Yeah.
Sports washing, man. That's an old game, The dictatorships that have the money it affects their public image, so it's worth all those millions. And athletes are like, you're going to give me how much for a site fee? I think it was that they split like a $50 million site fee for the rematch between Ruiz and Joshua. You imagine that, 50 mil or something, just to have it there. It's crazy.
That's insane. That is insane. Yeah, I know it was a crazy amount as far as that payday. Yeah. Shout out to Boxing Librarian. I believe that's BL right there, saying shout out to you guys. And I didn't know.
Yo, BL, what's up, man?
Shout out BL.
Yeah, check out boxinglibrarian.com. Let me give a shameless plug for my friend there.
Oh yeah, that is right.
That's building up.
Say that I hope that Usyk wins again. I think he will. I will really hope, because so Eddie Hearn can just shut up, and I'm so sick of him. And I mean, the way he is still, building up Joshua as some great heavyweight, like future Hall of Famer. Come on, man. He's been found out and exposed twice already. Come on, shut up. All right.
Yeah, he would need to do a lot more. I mean, I don't necessarily hold a loss against someone. He avenged the first loss, but even if he avenges this loss, he needs to do a lot more to be like in that Hall of Fame consideration, at least to me. Same with Fury. Like people are singing Fury's praises. There's a lot to praise about the man, about his story. But as far as a Hall of Fame career, I don't think so. Unless they're just looking at money, and money is a factor, I don't think so. Not yet. I mean, these guys are having a few dozen fights. It's just hard to put him up there, even with the guys who had. Because I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard didn't have a long career, but look how packed his career was. It's on another level. McLaren, these guys need more fights. They need more top level opponents. Else they're just really good in their generation. But all time great? I don't know.
Yeah, Fury hasn't done enough. Simply, I mean, he beat Vladimir Klitschko, who was at the end of his career anyway. Almost 40 years old. Then he beat Wilder, who was, we know what he is, just a big puncher, and that's all, pretty much. He doesn't have anything else. So if he, he would have to also beat at least Joshua and Usyk to really earn, a status as a Hall of Famer, at least, so, yeah. But that's the thing with the UK and Europe in general, like, we are not so big, as America. So every time somebody appears who does something, some kind of success, he's instantly raised up in the skies. That's just how it is. The whole mentality, the smaller, let's say, smaller countries. Don't want to offend UK, but it's not.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right without a doubt, because I just wanted to add that none of these guys have cleaned up heavyweight. Somebody's gonna have to clean it up. Klitschko did to a certain degree. Of course, he didn't fight his brother, but we all understand that. But he cleaned it up. But they need one of these guys, whether that's Joshua, Usyk, or Fury, needs to clean up the heavyweight division. Fury seems to be poised in the best place, in a sense, if he can get the winner of this fight, but we'll see.
Yeah, but he's talking all kinds of craziness. He was talking about retiring. Then he's
Well,
like,
yeah,
no, I'll come back for $500 million. Then
yeah,
his last one that I saw, he was like, yeah, Joshua, if you beat Usyk, you got to fight me for free on TV in Britain. It's like, bro, you just went from $500 million to this other multimillionaire's got to fight for free. What are you talking about, man? Does he need another break, or is he just like to rile people up a little bit?
Yeah, and I think the ego very often really ruins a fighter. That's been the case with Joshua. I mean, even now you was seeing him how he kind of posed and played to the crowd. In this press conference, the last two or the first two they had
For this
before.
fight.
Yeah, he
So I
was
remember
like
with Ruiz,
trying.
he was oh, sorry, go ahead, boss.
He was trying to look as intimidating as possible, doing
oh
that
yeah.
stare.
Well, he's, hopefully that works because that first Ruiz matchup, he's like letting him wear the belts. He's like at a photo op, and it's like, hey man, you're about to fight this dude. He's coming for your thing. Just
Yeah,
because he's a little bit shorter, he's a little bit round. Don't think he isn't going to try and come take your head off. That was a good fight though. The first Joshua Ruiz fight, I really like that.
Oh yeah, it was.
and all the time, Usyk is sitting there with that hat on, or however you call it, just looks bored. Oh, when is this gonna get? Come on, let's just get over with this nonsense. and Joshua really soaking up, and Eddie Hearn, they're just using it as an opportunity to look good and just
I see. I still wish that Wilder would have taken the offer to go fight Joshua and Dillian White. Those would have been good fights. That's way back now. That's years ago. I know things move quickly in boxing. I don't move quickly in boxing because I'm like 120 years ago mostly. I'm not. My mind's not in the modern game, but I love watching the fights. And I listen to you guys to figure out how people are doing and the texture of what's going on. I don't really listen to much else. Couple things. BL will mention new fights, modern fights. Mostly I'm back in the day. You guys know that.
Oh yeah.
In fact, Josh City, we gotta do some kind of countdown, brother.
Oh yeah. We'll have to set something up. Boz, you gotta jump in and be a part of this. But yeah,
maybe the three.
We have to count down.
Maybe the three of us. Sure. Maybe the three of us could do the top 5 boxers of the last 30 years.
Oh, okay. That'll be that'll be a good one. That'll be a very interesting one right there. Give some people
a lot of great fighters in that time.
Get some love. Yeah, the past 30 years. Yeah, I think that has been the case. Yeah, let's
let me know.
Trying to make that happen. Sure. You down, Boz?
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
Yeah. Josh, you can give Boz. You can give Boz my email, no problem, so he can reach out.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna get you in the mix there. Yeah, we definitely have to make this happen. I think that'll be good. Yeah, we appreciate you dropping in to check us out, and discuss this. Of course, there's always some good stuff going on. I like the history as well. We try to mix in a little bit of modern discussion by virtue of this podcast here. So it's always good to see what's going on here in the world. Oh, shout out to Hat Trick.
Oh my! Are you drinking? Are you drinking umbrella cocktails right now? Pina colada. That's what I would do. I love pina colada.
Okay, yeah. Let's get.
I should be more of a beer guy.
Right now,
all right. Oh, I love those cocktails. I'm not really a beer drinker, so yeah.
Yeah,
I stopped drinking totally. Beers. Yeah, craft beer's where it's at. Although the Sam Adams Cream Stout, I don't think they count as a craft anymore. But man, that's a good beer.
Oh yeah.
If you never had it,
Yard just better be mandatory. Gotcha. Yeah, Yard doesn't want those products. But Steven Sorby says better be it versus Yard is looking like October 22nd. Oh, so they're gonna make this happen, huh? Hey, we'll see though.
Yard is a dead man.
So can I quiz you guys? What is the best division in boxing right now in men's boxing?
Oh
Wow.
man, yeah, you have a lot of good ones.
Of course,
Certainly.
135 comes to mind.
Yeah.
uh,
135.
I wouldn't
Um,
say heavyweight, really. I wouldn't
no,
put them there.
no,
uh, light heavyweight is getting better. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
light heavyweight is pretty good.
Uh,
Um,
154, pretty good also. Yeah.
yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, Charlo is Jermell Charlo is become undisputed up there, but it's a lot of good competition at that level, for sure.
Mm.
Um, I was trying to think maybe down there at got to give some shout out to down there in I want to say 115. That one has some pretty solid fighters. They don't get as much love all the time, but I
Yeah.
think that's where Bam is fighting at now. He just took out Sarunka side. You still
Can't
have
run.
Entrada and Chocolatito there.
That's why I do. Hail 115. Hail.
Oh
Also,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, without a doubt. 140 is good. The fighters are kind of a little spread about right now, but 140 is
Yeah.
pretty solid. Um,
47.
yeah, 47. Of course, the best fight in boxing, in my opinion, is at
Yeah.
147. So you got to throw that in the mix. And I think at 147, they have a crop of good young fighters that are coming up as well. Stanionis, Boots Ennis, Virgil
Yeah.
Ortiz is there, of course. So
And the guy, what's his name? Avanesian.
Oh
Avanesian.
yeah, yeah, David Avanesian. Yeah, hopefully we get to
Mm.
see him in the mix there with some fighters as well.
Yeah, I was just
Avanesian.
saying, talking with Jamie about how, and he was really like, oh yeah, that would be great. Avanesian versus Stanionis. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Connor Bean.
Oh yeah, Conor Ben.
Yeah, he's
Why
there at
not?
147. So 147, I think it's heating back up. Yeah, it's pretty solid. You know, we have those big names who are kind of moving on with Sean Porter retiring. You know, we'll see what Ugas does. We'll see what
Oh yeah.
Keith Thurman does or whatever. But yeah, it's still in the
Mm.
mix there. We still have some pretty good fights that can be made there at 147.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Thurman.
it's tough,
Thurman.
Random, tough,
There's a
definitely.
there's a fighter who really like pissed his career away. One might say, or
Oh yeah,
his how do you say status anyway? Yeah, by being too picky. First of all, too money hungry, and also not
yeah.
fighting enough, of course. So
Oh,
Keith
who's that?
sometime Thurman. Keith sometime
Thurman,
Thurman.
Sometimes
yeah,
Thurman. That's hilarious.
He goes by
sometimes.
one time, but it's more so sometime now.
Or a one time, quality fire, but no longer.
Oh yeah,
It's
old
tough. The
Freaky
guys.
Keith.
Yeah, it's tough. Seems like the guys, at least compared to the eras I study, the guys don't fight very often, so their primes only last so many years. And they only have so many fights in their prime. Even if the prime is longer, they may still only be 10 or 12 fights.
Yeah,
Whereas, I'm looking at like Maxi Rosenblum, 20 plus fights in a year, and a lot of them
Oh
ranked
yeah,
opponents. So just another
yeah.
level
He has
of
like
activity.
220 something wins, I know. That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's
Incredible.
insane. That's insane. Like you can't even compare that. You know what I'm saying? It's like if
I've
you
been
got
going through,
30
yeah,
fights, you know
man.
what I'm saying? If you got
He
30
always
fights, like what the heck?
almost he could not punch, so he almost always had to go the full distance.
Which
So
is even
that's
more insane right there,
yeah.
right?
He's got like
Mhm.
15 KOs maybe or something, 80
Yeah,
maybe.
you're right. It's somewhere around there
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
it's almost
300
nothing.
plus fights. That's insane.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
looking at
So
like his 1927, 28, 29, 30 when he went from being a ranked middleweight up to a ranked light heavy. Dude, he was fighting so many guys who counted. He had some softer matchups, but if you're fighting, 25, 26 times in a year, they
Oh
don't
yeah,
all have to be killers. Just
yeah.
any fight is a fight. But then if a lot of those guys are either ranked or were ranked in a year or two prior to that, it's real hard to stay ranked back in his day.
oh yeah,
The
Yeah.
turnover on the top, the turnover on the top 10, because of course, if everyone's having 10 to 15 fights, a lot of these guys, there's a lot of people making an argument for year-end rankings, and I saw that.
oh
I've been
yeah.
charting out the ring rankings and then looking at who somebody fought and when they were ranked. Like Rosenblum in 29, dude, he had 7 fights against guys who were ranked heading into 1929. He fought all of the top 3 contenders to Loughran and beat all 3, although he lost to Slattery as well as beating him. He was number 3.
Jimmy.
Crazy stuff.
He lost to a Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and beat him. Just crazy. And he wasn't even the champ. Loughran was the champ looking for a heavyweight opportunity, but Rosenblum had 7 top 10 wins, and that's top 10 going into that year, not counting the guys who he beat who were top 10, say, the year before or 2 years before. It's just crazy. He was out of his mind. What a great fighter. What a resume.
Yeah, those are the things you can't you can't duplicate right there. You definitely won't see it again in terms of just how boxing is now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is absolutely insane. Yeah, that's why Hall of Famer, one of the greats without a doubt. And
and you would hope
see that Rodolfo didn't see Eddie Hearn's top 10 all time, but based on what you put there, I imagine it's pretty funky.
5 British guys, I imagine, among them at least.
Oh yeah,
Henry Cooper and who else could be in there? Fitz, I don't know what's his name. Frank Bruno. Yeah.
Oh wow!
In his top 10.
His top 10 heavyweights of all time. Those are some of his favorites. Then, that's his list.
So that's his favorites list. That's his favorites list.
Yeah,
without a doubt. That's funny though.
Well, as a promoter, you ask a promoter, he's going to talk about what suits his purposes, or like same if you ask a great fighter, their key opponents might sneak into a list, worthy or not, just because they're like, well, that's the guy, I'm propped up on him, so let's praise him. Remember when I beat him? Like I'd be interested to see Mayweather's all-time list. Mayweather Jr.
Well,
I wonder how many of his opponents are on it.
He threw some stuff out there. I remember him saying something. I know he had like Pernell Whitaker and I can't remember who it was, but I do remember Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I think he had in his top 5.
But he was number 1, of course.
he put himself number 1.
Yeah. Well, why? Yeah, of course. That's Mayweather there. Why would he not?
Yeah, that's true. I want him to think. I'm like, how could he do that? Of course he could. He's Floyd Mayweather Jr. He doesn't care.
He has the mentality of a 16-year-old. So what can you expect, right?
Hyphy.
Oh, Hyphy in the chat. What up, Hyphy?
Hyphy. Hey. Keep it. Hyphy.
Oh, thanks for the shout, Facebook user, earlier on. Thanks for the shout.
Yeah, I think that's BL right there, Facebook user.
I thought he had Fred Sanford on his avatar. I really love that show, Sanford and Son. That show. That's
big up, Hyphy. I know we were chatting that time talking about the Bay Area, aka Yay Area, Mac Dre.
Yeah,
it was funny.
So I appreciate you guys so much letting me jump on. I don't have a lot to add about a modern discussion, but can I just ask you guys while I got you in there, who is each of your favorite fighter that's active right now? Who the guy, doesn't have to be the top guy, but who's your absolute must-see favorite guy you want to follow? Just curious.
That's a good question.
Good question for sure. When you put it in that perspective in terms of must see, man, there are so many guys, but I would say certainly if you haven't seen them, I would say it's 2 of them at least. Probably, man, there's so many of them. It's hard to say. But I would say for sure. Recently here, certainly you want to check out Jerron Boots Ennis. Man, once you see him, you'll see what I'm talking about. He just looks different. And Bam Rodriguez is another one. And once you see him, you'll know what I'm talking about. He just looks different as well. Those are 2 that you want to see. Now, I'm not saying they're the best in terms of there's some guys I rate higher, of course. But as far as 2 must-see right now that are names that are just going to continue to blow up, certainly Jerron and Bam. Check both of those out if you haven't randomly. Check them out.
That's what's up. I will.
Bam Rodriguez and Boots Ennis. Put that in YouTube. You're gonna see them for sure. About you, Slavin.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think.
I'm on it.
Well,
How about you, boss?
I think I like those Ukrainian guys, Lomachenko and Usyk, best for probably because
Oh
you
yeah,
know they are what they are, amazing, and
yeah.
there are a few other smaller. I mean, a guy we talked about earlier, Mauricio Lara. I do like
Oh yeah.
watching him as well, and
Oh, I have to check him out.
those
Yeah.
guys like that,
Yeah.
just trying to remember a
Oh yeah,
few other.
and yeah, that made me think. Another one I throw out there is Mirajan Akhmadaliev, aka MJ. He's a
Yeah.
Uzbeki fighter.
Oh yeah, right.
He's worth checking out. Yeah,
Of
Mirajan.
course, Virgil Ortiz. I forgot about him. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Virgil
Virgil Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Man,
I'm gonna
there's so
check
many. There's
all
so
those
many
guys
right now.
out.
You're talking to some
Hey,
Vox fans. Yeah, so Mirajan, then Janabek. What is Janabek's last name?
Alim Kanuli.
Alim Kaluli. Yeah, Janabek Alim Kaluli. You got to check him out too, man.
From
These are
Kazakhstan.
yes,
word.
some of these are guys who are their names aren't huge, but man, they're amazing fighters.
Oh yeah, and Israel Madrimov.
Oh yeah.
You
Islam
wanna check him
Madrimov.
out?
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys, because I don't care about fame. I don't like same thing with mixed martial arts. And if you ask me my favorite mixed martial arts guy, which you shouldn't, I would go on for hours. So, yeah, so I understand. It's not to put you on the spot on your own show. I just wanted to get some ideas of people to watch because I mostly watch the older fights if I'm not watching MMA. So, but I want to branch out. You know, I got time. My schedule changed, so I work every day, but I work at the same time every day now. So I'm like a human being again. I was doing
Oh
some
yeah.
crazy stuff for the last since I've known you, Josh. I've been on the craziest schedule. You'd be like, "You're killing
Oh
yourself,
yeah.
brother." And I
Yeah,
was, but I'm back. I'm still alive. Look at that. I made it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's answer Alan here. Where would you rank Fury in heavyweight history?
Shout
That's
out
a good
Alan.
question, Alan.
Shout
Well,
out
somewhere in the top, top
Oh no.
20 or something, 25. I don't know.
I think I'd have him inside 100 for sure. That's probably not the answer you wanted to hear, but certainly inside 100, probably
Yeah,
inside 50, but higher than that, it's tough because how many
Well,
fights he had now? 30 or
I
31?
think it's like 30, maybe 30. Yeah.
33 or something, I think. 32, I don't know.
Yeah, we got to see a little bit more from him. I mean, in terms of if you look at say we take a little total package approach and just look at the personality. That's who he is. He's a big personality, big fighter.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to be one of those big names that is amongst the best, at least, especially when we think about these modern times here. But yeah, when you go back to the totality of history, of course, man, there's
Yeah.
so many great heavyweights and some who had such a high level of competition that it's going to be hard for Fury to crack the ranks of those like top 10, 15 heavyweights, top 20 heavyweights. It's going to be tough to crack those ranks. I just don't think there are going to be enough guys out there to allow for him to do it. But he's certainly going to be a name that is definitely going to be mentioned amongst the greatest for sure.
You know
Yeah,
what?
well, let me ask you this. Oh, sorry, bro. Go ahead.
But I can say that he has really improved. If you remember him,
Yeah.
like the way he used to be the guy who uppercutted himself in the face.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
remember
very,
that?
yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
very, very clumsy, very, very big, of course, but it's really amazing how much he improved. Has improved until now, and being such a huge guy, it's not so easy being well coordinated, but he has really done well for such a big, enormous guy who weighs like 275 for his
Yeah,
fights and stuff
certainly.
like.
Yeah,
And,
his head movement's pretty fantastic
and
for, well,
I
it's
just want to
absolutely.
say,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and I just want to say, another thing that's tough with the heavyweights, if you really dive back into the history, there's especially early on, there was like a stronghold on the heavyweight title by, I would say, a few guys. You had like a certain guy who would have it for a number of years. So not only are
Yeah.
you battling with that, battling with the champions, but there was a number of top guys at heavyweight who never even got a heavyweight title shot, for instance. So that makes it tough when you think heavyweights in terms of just overall accomplishments and all that stuff, because there was a log jam there early on with a multitude of guys who never got a shot at a title, and you just had so much competition, back in the earlier days. We're starting to, or we have over the last, I would say 6-7 years, we started giving props to boxing for, we're starting to get more heavyweights back up there, because even there after Lennox Lewis retired with the Klitschko's there on top, competition kind of waned a bit. So it's tough competition wise, but we have some good young heavyweights that are out there right now. If Fury, beats all of them, which it doesn't look like that's where the trajectory is going to be, then I think that would make his case stronger. But he just doesn't have a ton, just overall.
Yeah, I know this is not one topic, but I will just throw one name out before I forget. A guy that's 130 that I'm really excited to follow in future, who has recently won a world title in a really stunning fashion. Can you guess who it is, Joshua?
130?
Yeah.
You're talking about Shakur Stevenson?
No, not him. Joe Cordina.
Oh, yeah. Joe Cordina. Yeah, he looks good. He was highly touted. I was just thinking Stevenson. I was figuring he might have seen Stevenson. Stevenson, he's another one. He usually thoroughly outboxes his opponents.
So,
but
that fight would make sense because Cordina now holds the IBF title, so that would be not only a very exciting matchup, but a title unification fight. So
certainly worth checking out there, Randall. Yeah, he's right. Joe Cordina, he's legit. He had been a good amateur, and I think he was an Olympian, if I'm not mistaken.
Word.
And he just got a crazy knockout of Kenichi Ogawa, I believe it was. It's in the second round. He set up a punch that put his lights out.
Cordina. I'm gonna go look at that when I get off. I'm gonna go.
Joe Cordina. He's a Brit. So I forget which part of the area he is over
He's from Wales.
Okay, Wales. He's Wales. Okay, cool. Yeah, Welsh Warrior.
That's what's up. My favorite boxer is from Wales. Joe Calzaghe, my favorite modern guy. Yeah, man.
Oh, I saw somebody else mention Joe Calzaghe in somewhere. Where was that coming at?
Yeah.
Did I miss that? Did I skip that?
Steven's weighing in on his top fighters for his top 5.
Steven, 1922 to 2002, no order. Lennox Lewis, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather. Just need 2 more. I don't mind, but lots of debate to be had. Oh, yeah, certainly. 92 to 2022. Yeah, there's certainly been a lot of names. Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Certainly a lot of names that have come up through there in the mix there.
Yeah, you guys let me know if you want to come on the channel and do a countdown like I've been doing with BL and Scrap. That would be a tough one for me because I don't know the modern era. I don't know the old school era that well, but I don't know the modern era hardly at all, just certain big names. But I'm not looking at names. I always look at resume, so I'm going to have to study.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I agree with you, Rodolfo. Bernard and Manny are there. He had some guys who didn't have long reigns, but they had some great moments here in the 2000s. Kelly Pavlik, he looked like he was going to be a beast there for a minute. Freaking Sergio Martinez at the moment.
I kind of talked to him, but he looks like a nice guy. But he was just didn't have all the elements, I guess, all the tools. Yeah.
It's a tough sport to navigate.
Yeah,
the money's always a factor too. So even if you keep a high ranking, if your name takes a blow because of a performance or loss, guys don't want to fight you because there's less money in it. Even if you're above guys, they do want to fight. I guess that frustrates fight fans all the time. They just want to see the top guys fight each other, and everyone else like, look at your social media followers. Like, well, the social media followers can't climb in the ring and fight. But the business side of things is always there. Lots of people eat off of these great athletes, so it's not just them. But I feel like if two athletes really want a fight to happen and they both insist, it can get made. But they both have to insist. They can't just be like, I'd kind of like to, you know what I mean? Like with Crawford Spence, like if they both said, my next fight needs to be this guy, 100%, make it happen, make the money work. Both guys saying that, then the camps can come to an agreement. But short of that, there's lots of options.
Yeah, that's seemingly where we're at now. But it took Crawford to no longer be with Top Rank, so he's a free agent now. I think that's why we're in all likelihood going to get it, because he fought his last fight under Top Rank when he beat Sean Porter here earlier this year. So that's why it's, I guess, becoming a bit easier to make that side of the way, the promotional piece of it, at least from a standpoint of dealing with two at the moment.
Yeah, there's always that sort of crap going on.
Yeah,
it goes all the way back.
Calzaghe, agree with you, Alan, in terms of throwing in the mix there with some of those names.
Yeah, Calzaghe was no joke. Come on, he was legit. He was.
Alan says he's all for being versus Eubank. Yeah, it is a controversial, it's an interesting matchup for sure.
Well,
and we're gonna check it out.
Just imagine if Eubank won to a less experienced and a much smaller guy. I mean, come on, that would really be the killer for him.
Yeah, I favor Eubank, but I did favor Eubank, but now if it's at 156 pounds, I don't know.
Ben is
where do they fight?
Fast. I mean, yeah.
Well,
what weight do they fight at normally?
Well, being 147 for Eubank, he's fought at 168. I can't remember what his last fight, whether it was at 160 or 168. But they're talking about doing a catch weight of 156 pounds with a rehydration clause. So that's going to certainly...
With Bernard and De La Hoya, Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
The same. Yeah.
They met in the middle and then had a rehydration clause to limit the amount of size advantage.
Yeah, I believe it was something like that. But Bernard, he's always one of those fighters who's taking care of himself to a high extreme. And Eubank, he looks like he's always in top shape. But I don't know whether it's a struggle for him. Making certain weight, but I'd imagine getting down below 160 is probably gonna certainly be a challenge.
Yeah, I think it will probably drain him too much. So who knows? That fight might be up for grabs. If he doesn't make the weight.
Just the last names, I guess.
Yeah, comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah,
that one's for the casuals. Yeah, I mean, there are hardcores who will appreciate it, but that one seems like that would be for the casuals. Like two last names, they'd be like, "Yo, what do you mean, Ben Eubank? What are you talking about?" And then just gotta see it.
Yeah, like carrying on their father's grudge, or rivalry.
It's a big money name, a big name money grab.
Yeah, it's with Ali and Frazier's daughters,
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Are there a lot of sons and daughters of boxers active right now beyond them?
In terms of active right now?
Well, in countries like Mexico, for instance, there is a lot of that. Yeah, there's certainly.
Montiel has a son or something like that fights, right?
Who? Oh yeah, Montiel.
Montiel. Yeah. But I could be thinking of but it might not be Fernando Montiel though.
That was a fine fighter, yeah.
But yeah, there are some sons out there. I'm trying to think. I can't think of who some of the bigger name ones are right now that are active.
It's all good.
Well, yeah, I know that Virgil Hill's son is fighting. I believe Virgil Hill. And
if I'm not mistaken, he was in the running for our light heavyweight countdown. I think wasn't he a light heavy champ?
Oh yeah.
Running the fences all together. Yeah, no joke.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, well, guys, look, I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna let you get back to your regular scheduled programming. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Have me on. Good talk to you, Boz. Like, and Josh. Appreciate it,
Yeah.
fellas. And look forward. If I can plug two things: one,
Yeah.
boxinglibrarian.com. Number two, this Saturday on my channel, Boxing Librarian BL and Scrapbook Boxing going to join me. We're going to count down the all-time top 10 all-time greatest lightweights. This is going to be crazy. That's all I'm going to say about it.
That's a tough one right there. Crazy. Yeah, certainly. We'll check that out. I'll post something for sure about it as well. And boxinglibrarian.com. Definitely check that out. Shout out to the Boxing Librarian. A lot of great historic content right there. So always, you can certainly plug that.
You need to get your library card. Come on.
That's right. That's right. That's a good quote right there. You should trademark that. BL, you'll be a royalty if you use it.
Funny.
All right, guys, it's been real. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you, Random. Appreciate you, Random.
Appreciate
All right, fellas. Later.
Right. Yeah, later. See you.
Yeah. So we're back in the mix. I know we've been going for a minute here.
And then there were two, yeah.
and then there were two. We've been going for a minute here.
2 hours.
I'm gonna have to get you out of here though. Alan Warrington high for the rematch and had to cheat with head, but yeah. Warrington wants no more of Laura. We need to get that though. It's messed up, and Warrington got a title shot against Rocky Martinez. Stephen Sorby, the very best fighter to watch in boxing, can change from week to week. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, those three.
Shakur, Tank. Yeah, without a doubt. I was gonna mention those. I think he's seen some of them, but certainly Inoue, beast. The way he handled Nonito in that last fight was just crazy. Inoue. But yeah, he's a beast. Japan, he has a lot of good fighters out there right now in the lower weights doing their thing.
Yeah, why not? Even Riddick Bowe is great. I mean, he was.
Oh yeah.
He was the shit, really for a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love. I mean, he was one of my favorite '90s heavyweights, definitely.
Oh yeah. He was bringing big, strong.
Yeah.
He had some speed to him. He's just a big heavyweight, big athletic heavyweight.
He had a lot of strengths and just a few weaknesses. Yeah. Well, he had one weakness. He loved to eat too much. So.
Oh yeah. Certainly, but yeah, Bo's up there. You're right, Rodolfo. Dang. Yes, sir. Tyson's gonna hold his WBC belt hostage too. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, he's gonna have to do something. He claims he retired, so it should be stripped, right?
Yeah, it should be.
It should be somebody fighting for the vacant fight title, right?
Yeah, what's going on with him? But sure doesn't look like he's really intends to stay retired anyway. There's a lot of publicity going on with him always, of course.
Fury has defended his belt twice since his victory nearly 7 years ago against Klitschko. He needs to build on the recent Wilder and White wins to be declared an all-time great. Hey, agrees to Stephen Sorby. Yeah, that is pretty crazy thinking about that fight came 7 years ago. 7 years ago with the Klitschko fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Insane.
Yeah, no, he could have fought, more top guys, these last couple of 3 years, let's say.
Maybe Otto Valine and that Schwartz cat.
Yeah, he chose not to, but that's why I'm pretty angry about, because he should have pushed
retirement.
Well, anyway, he should have. He was about to fight Joshua, right? That was right last year, but
I agree with you there.
Wilder put a stop to that.
Hey, Steven, yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting fight for sure.
Yeah. Tommy Morrison, that's right. Trey.
Trey. He got knocked out recently, actually. But he hadn't really been tested. But
no, he was just he could punch, but I don't think he was ever gonna be.
Same with Muhammad Ali's grandson, but ESPN top ranker putting them out there like a son of a gun. Giving them heavy promotion.
Does anyone remember Seth Mitchell? He was like
Oh yeah.
to
Oh, I do remember Seth. He was a former football player. He had a little run there. Got stopped by somebody. Can't remember who.
Jonathan Banks, right? I think. It was.
Okay, yeah. Banks shot a video. Yeah, I remember him getting stopped. And then he kind of,
Then it was one more guy. I don't remember who was the last guy who ended his career.
Yeah.
And Seth. He was kind of hyped for a while. I remember that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Hasim the Junior. Hasim the Junior. I mean.
I forgot about him. Of course, yeah. He's about to be in a marquee fight. Even Sorby being Eubank Jr. doesn't grab me as a dedicated fan, but I understand why it captures the general sports fan to become a hit. Yeah, for sure. You know, they get that get that financial benefit, you get that name and rivalry. Get your library card.
Get your library card and don't cheat.
Well. You're right. Hey, I love Eubank Sr. That man's funny.
Yeah, he certainly is a
Interesting
showman.
character. He's a showman. Yeah. Without a doubt.
You're really ignorant. You know, do you remember when I was just watching it today when he and Ben were like before a second fight had with this Jonathan Ross show. They were guests. And then there was James Stoney via satellite talking to them, And Tony, he was like, "I'm gonna beat you in your mama's ass." He said that to you, and he was first not saying anything, and he said, "It seems you are purely ignorant." That's all. Like he was like some academic. He was not gonna put himself down on that level. Like that was so
funny. Yeah, he's a trip without a doubt.
Yeah.
But Rodolfo, it's based on the color. Yeah, I think to get the black one, it's more expensive. I see they got like an orange and black one that is like $59. That's a pretty solid deal right there. GTR Racing is the chair. GTR Racing. But yeah, they're cool.
Nice.
I like them.
GTR. Wow, you got another hoodie that is black this time. Wow.
Oh yeah. I've had this one. I gotta get some more. I gotta get some shirts. Yeah.
How do you get them done? I mean, produced. I don't get it.
I need to find some other sites, but I use this site called Queensboro. They have some pretty good deals. Yeah, these are like the screen print right here. This yellow one. This one is like embroidered right here. The embroidered one is a bit more expensive.
The famous one.
Yeah. It had that color. They just had that color as a stock color. You can get a good deal on that color because not too many people are gonna run around with that color. But hey, I just so happen to use that color. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you just fill in the details what you want to stand on.
You upload the logo and then I think they'll send you a proof and all that stuff. But I've gotten some shirts from there as well, and from another spot too. I'm gonna do some more. I got to get some shirts made for sure.
All right. So you also say what color, of course, you want.
Yeah. You can pick colors. My mom actually asked me about some new colors. She said she wants a pink one, so I'm gonna mix the colors in a little bit. Try to make it happen.
That's what I wanted to say. You don't want to just pick any color and you get pink one like salmon, whatever.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna work some more. Gotta get. I'll let you know. Gotta get your 80 boxing dig.
Yeah, you gotta get me a purple one, of course.
Oh yeah, purple. I got you. Got you without a doubt. Like get some boxing haven on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, boxing haven, slaving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Steven Sorby's favorite top five be differently to my best list. Okay, yeah,
Hmm.
without a doubt. Yes, sir. Random anyway, beast.
Yep.
Oh, Schwartz is fighting this Friday. I wonder who he's taking on. Oh yeah. They're comfortable, Rodolfo. Yeah, that's a pretty deal. Yeah, for $60 there, orange and black, worth checking out. I can say I like them. GTR Racing. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. You know, it's comfortable. You can lean all the way back too and kind of fall asleep in this chair. Steven Sorby Furious talent is undeniable, was actually the reason why his two absences of 30 months and then 20 months over the past 80 months is so infuriating. No pun intended. Yeah, that's a lot of inactivity right there. Especially
He's
to
got,
retire, especially
that's
to
because
retire.
he's got so many extra curricular activities going
Oh, yeah, he
on.
definitely does.
So yeah, it's always gonna be difficult to just concentrate on boxing for a colorful guy like him, of course.
Good stuff, Alan. Yeah. Eubank Senior, eccentric character. My girlfriend loves him as well. Better than
He was,
Eubank Jr. because Eubank Jr. really doesn't have a personality, but his dad
no,
brings it out. It brings out
he's
everything
very,
for him.
very bland. Yeah, Eubank had a really good personality. It's a great
Yeah.
shame that he never got to fight. Guys like Roy Jones or James Stoney. Those fights would have
Oh
been
yeah.
really epic. And same goes for Nigel Benn, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they were talking. I remember they were doing that interview with James Toney. I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, me too. It looked like it would.
Yeah.
Hey,
Scrapbook Boxing.
what's up, man?
Hey, shout out Scrapbook Boxing. Hey, check out Scrapbook Boxing. He's a true historian right there. You know, if you go check out his page, man, he's been around the game. He's talked with some of the greatest fighters in history. A number of them have passed on, but man, he's talked to some of the greatest fighters in history. Been to a number of the top fights from back in the day.
That's
All that good
crap.
stuff. It's like crazy. Scrapbook Boxing. Check out his page for sure. If you want to get some history updates for sure, Scrapbook Boxing. Appreciate you dropping in, Scrap. Random says big up Scraps, of course. Rodolfo, yes sir. Create an orange or teal 186. Alvaro one dude. Okay, I got you an orange one. Rodolfo, I'm gonna look for orange or teal. No, I got you. I'm gonna shoot you one because I told you I was gonna shoot you one anyway. A hoodie at least. That's it. Let me know. I got you. Rodolfo. No worries. I got you. Oh yeah, and Boz is gonna get that purple one without a doubt. Alan thought Calzaghe when Calzaghe was young enough to coming. Yeah. Or yeah, fought Calzaghe. Okay, yeah.
All right. Is it time to turn it in?
Are you ready to get off? We've only been on 2 hours. Like what
Yeah, only like a length of a Marvel movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. All good. Yeah, we probably got to get up at this thing. You know what I'm saying? Got to go get something to eat. All that good stuff. I just got up and jumped in the mix here. Well, as always, appreciate you coming on there, Bob. We're gonna have to do some other stuff. Hey, Alan, appreciate it. Hey, thank you for jumping on, Alan. Anytime we're gonna get back in the mix again. Probably do this time. This seems to be a good time, or that time. We used to do it at 2:00.
We got it. Well, it's good, that we had first that scoring, fight score.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to get together, and then we have this as a after party.
Yeah, after party. Yeah. We're gonna get it back in the mix again. But
4 hours
appreciate it.
of boxing entertainment.
Yeah, I know that's a lot. Didn't factor in that. Yeah. 4+ hours, insane. But yeah, thank you, Alan, for dropping by. Scrapbook, appreciate you. Scrapbook, Rodolfo, thank you. Appreciate it, Rodolfo. And everybody who dropped by, who Hyphy, appreciate you dropping by, Hyphy. So many people dropped by. Ryan ORourke, the boxing librarian, Stephen Sorby. Hey, appreciate you dropping in, Stephen Sorby. We got to chat and work on scoring that one fight. So in fight night score. So appreciate you dropping in. Hat Trick, of course, Syrian. Appreciate you dropping by. And I think we got everybody. Oh yeah, Logic, come back, Logic. Oh yeah, and Danny D, get back in the mix here for sure. It did Logic, of course. Xavier, the boxing nerd. I know these shout outs can go on. Darren Dobson, thank you for jumping in. Martin Dunstan, yeah, appreciate you, Martin.
Oh yeah, Dunstan.
Come back again.
Never answer my question if he's related to Terry Dunstan.
We'll find out next time. We'll find out for sure. Fight night scores. Oh yeah, Big Fish Vega. Appreciate you dropping in. And then James Morgan dropped in for a little funny comment, but hopefully you're good with your cat there. But yeah, thanks. Hey, appreciate it, Slavin, of course. AKA Boz Ajanovich, AKA something, but Boxing Haven. Check out Boxing Haven. You all see that there down the stream. Boxing Haven on Facebook, Boz on YouTube.
Yep. We could sure use more active members, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. We're gonna kind of keep expanding this thing. Oh yeah, and also if you're still here, check out that Les Darcy video just released, talking about Les Darcy, Australia's greatest fighter, is how I titled it. But I may change it. There's some other great Australian fighters, Young Griffo, Peter Jackson, the Black Prince. I mean, so many of them out there. But I've been working with the titling here on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube had some wrinkles to it apparently, but yeah, check that out. Les Darcy, great fighter. But yeah, appreciate everyone dropping in. Thank you all. Thank you, Boz.
Sure, anytime.
Cheers.